12 swimming pools that shouldn't exist. Taking a dip in the pool is one of the best ways to take some time off and relax. But what if the pool ends up putting you in danger instead? From swimming pools with crocodiles, to sharks, to being submerged in blood-red water. There's a whole lot of swimming pools in the world that literally shouldn't exist. Curious to find out more? Keep watching this video. In this video, we're giving you a roundup of 12 swimming pools that shouldn't exist. Before we continue, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Let's begin. Starting off at number 12, the glass pool at the Holiday Inn, China. The Holiday Inn isn't a name that comes to mind when you think of a luxurious, memorable experience. The company has the largest chain of hotels in the world, but they're mostly always budget, motel-style hotels. This goes out the window when you're at their Shanghai location. On top of the 24-story building is their pool. It measures 98 feet long and 20 feet wide and is around 5 meters deep. This might seem like an ordinary pool when you first get in, but before you reach the other end of it, you'll see what makes this pool so special. It hovers over nothing. The end of the pool stretches beyond the building itself. This section has an entirely see-through glass bottom. You can easily see the sidewalk and road below when you swim over it. The pedestrians below can look up and see people swimming just as clearly, leaving nothing between the swimmer and the sidewalk but one panel of glass holding the water up. At number 11, Infinity Pool, Four Seasons Safari Lodge, Tanzania. The Four Seasons Safari Lodge in Tanzania is located inside the Serengeti National Park. Seeing a few wild animals here and there through your window is pretty common in the park itself, but that's nothing compared to the pool of this hotel. The pool itself is an infinity pool measuring 82 feet in length and 5.7 feet deep. The crazy part about this pool is the fact that it's right next to a watering hole that's commonly used by elephants and other wild animals, especially in the dry season as water becomes scarce overall. Guests are mere feet away from the animals. Although the predators and prey don't really interact while they're at the watering hole, there's never a guarantee that they never will. If anything goes wrong, the guests might just end up finding themselves swimming with the wild animals that were just supposed to be the view. On to number 10, Sky Park Infinity Pool, Marina Bay Sands, Singapore. When you think of Singapore, the first thing that pops into everyone's mind is the notorious Marina Bay Sands building. It has three 57-story towers that are connected by a sky park. The sky park is home to the largest rooftop infinity pool in the world. It is 478 feet long. That's equivalent to 3 Olympic swimming pools. It holds 1,438,456 liters of water and isn't for people that are afraid of heights or falling from heights. From the edge of this infinity pool, you get a literal bird's-eye view of the entire Singapore skyline, which means that the only thing between you and the view is the edge of the pool. Keep in mind that the sheer size of the pool and the fact that it holds almost 400,000 gallons of water. If the edge doesn't hold, the weight of the water takes everyone with it, down all 57 stories. Number 9. Sky Pool, Embassy Gardens, England. The Embassy Gardens in London was designed to be one of a kind from the get-go. The whole complex comprises 10-story buildings side by side. Where most towers, like the Petronas Twin Towers, have a walkway bridge where you just walk over to the other building, the Embassy Gardens have people swimming over to the other side instead. They've designed what they call a floating swimming pool. The 164-foot pool has an 80-foot section that stretches over from one building to the other, where you can literally float over and reach the other side. It's made entirely of acrylic glass. The bottom, the sides, and the floor is virtually invisible and only looks like a giant slab of water floating in the air. Coming in at number 8, Sky Pool, Market Square Tower, Texas, USA. The Market Square Tower in Houston, Texas seems like your average residential building at first, but by the time you make it to its 40th floor, you realize that it's nothing like anything else in the world. This building is home to the highest glass bottom pool in the world. The rooftop pool has a 10-foot section that hangs off the building and is made entirely out of glass. When designing the feature pool, they wanted to keep the glass as thin as possible to make the view down below as clear as possible. So they chose an 8-inch thick acrylic glass. It's put together in a way that when you walk across it, you feel like you're walking on air, which technically you are. The pool is suspended over literally nothing. Let's check out number 7, Cage of Death, Crocosaurus Cove, Australia. Saltwater crocodiles can grow to over 17 feet when they're fully grown and have a bite force of over 3 tons. This would typically be enough of a reason not to go anywhere near them. But the Cage of Death in Darwin, Australia is made to do the exact opposite of that. They have 4 full-sized adult crocodiles in multiple small enclosures. One of them is an 18-foot crocodile that's notorious for being aggressive. Visitors are put into a glass cylinder with 1.5-inch thick glass, called the Cage of Death, 2 at a time. The name comes from the fact that it puts you face to face with literal death. You're lowered into the water in the cage with the crocodile, and meat's attached to the bottom or side, so when the crocodile swims over to get his food, it feels like it'll grab a bite out of you instead. You get to spend 15 minutes in the pool while the crocodile finishes its food and is done interacting, and then you're pulled out of the water. That is, if the crocodile doesn't make it through the 1.5-inch glass first. Number 6. The Library, Koh Samui, Thailand. The library was designed to be a unique boutique hotel. Their pool is what arguably sets this hotel apart from any other in the world you might have seen. From the outside, it looks like a scene from a horror movie. The entire pool is blood red. The color makes it look like someone bled to death in the pool. This makes this pool one uncomfortable one to look at, let alone swim in. It looks over the white sand beach and clear blue water, which makes the red stand out even more, adding to the overall creepiness of it. The pool itself doesn't actually have red water or blood in it, though. The tiles all around the pool are red, so it looks like blood when you look at it, which also makes it harder to see the bottom of it. Guests have reported that what makes the sight even creepier is how the red from the pool reflects on the buildings in front of it, making them look like they're drenched in blood too. Moving on to number 5 on our list, Nemo 33, Belgium. When Nemo 33 first opened in Brussels, Belgium in 2004, it was one of a kind. It held the record for being the deepest pool in the world for 10 years. It's a cylindrical pool for the most part and is 113 feet deep. It's meant to replicate free diving in the oceans, which is why the water isn't chlorinated and is instead filled with 2.5 million liters of filtered fresh spring water. The cylindrical pool leads to various man-made caves that can be explored for hours. Though the facility was originally made to train divers, amateur snorkelers are allowed to swim accompanied with the staff. But even with trained professionals, you're never totally safe. In 2011, a staff member stayed behind to swim around when his colleagues went back to the surface. Alone at the bottom of the pool, he ran out of oxygen and ended up dying, recording his own death with the underwater camera attached to him. If something like this can happen to a trained diver, it can happen to anyone. At number 4, Y40, the Deep Joy, Italy. Y40, the Deep Joy, was the one that dethroned Nemo 33 as the deepest pool in the world in 2014. This one is 139 feet deep. It's built inside a hotel that has a clear tube bridge going through the pool where visitors can see the swimmers inside. Overall, the Deep Joy holds 4.3 million liters of spring water, and divers can dive in it without wetsuits as its water temperature is controlled to stay at room temperature. The central pool leads to several caves. Most of them are even made to look like actual caves with rocks on the walls and can be explored. But the main attraction is the 139-foot drop. When at the top of the pool, it seems like it's bottomless. Expert freedivers have dived all the way down to the bottom with a single breath. But even the smallest error, and you'll find yourself trapped, almost 140 feet away from oxygen. At number 3, Infinity Pool, Sal Alfonso del Mar, Chile. There are hotels with large pools, but they're nothing compared to this one. The pool at the Sal Alfonso Resort in Chile is 20 acres long. That's about the length of 20 Olympic-sized swimming pools. It's also 115 feet deep, making it one of the deepest pools ever made. It holds the Guinness World Record for being the largest pool in the world. The pool itself is an infinity pool that's right next to the sea below it, only leaving a small section of the beach between it and the sea. The size of this pool is so big that at first glance it looks like it's part of the sea. It holds over 250 million liters of water. This much water can't possibly be brought from somewhere else, so it's pumped right in from the sea next to it. The cost of maintaining it is $4 million per year. This pool is so big that no one is actually allowed to swim in it, as no lifeguard would be able to swim over and save someone if there was an emergency. But you can literally take boat rides on it or take a kayak and explore the length of the pool that way instead. At number 2, Skellefteå Ice Pool, Sweden. We've all heard that swimming in cold water is good for your health, but this pool takes that saying to the next level. In February of each year, when the rivers freeze over in northern Sweden, an 82-foot pool is cut into the ice in the Skellefteå River. Swimmers come from all across Sweden and the rest of the world to take a swim in this pool that nears the Arctic Circle. The water is usually around -3 degrees Celsius. Swimmers have to keep their hats on and their head out of the water, as the human body holds half of its body heat in the head. A person can only survive under 30 minutes in the water if it's that cold. Even with a hat on, your body loses heat very quickly, your lungs tense up, and it becomes severely difficult to breathe. Each second you're in the icy water, your body gets closer to shutting down. And now our number 1 pool that shouldn't exist, the Golden Nugget, Las Vegas, USA. Sharks are one of the biggest fears for most people. The pool at the Golden Nugget Hotel in Las Vegas brings you face to face with those fears. What seems like a regular indoor-outdoor swimming pool from afar actually has a feature piece in the middle, a 750,000-liter shark tank. The tank has 5 different species of sharks. This includes giant tiger sharks too. Tiger sharks can grow up to 25 feet long. The shark tank is fully immersed in the middle of the pool. This means that you can swim right up to a full-size tiger shark or a zebra shark with only a panel of glass there to keep you safe. You can see the sharks being fed and sometimes even catch them hunting the smaller fish too. The pool around the tank is usually full of people. If the glass were to break, it would look like a scene from Jaws in seconds. Well, that's a wrap for 12 swimming pools that shouldn't exist. Which one of these are you willing to bet your life on? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. I'll see you in the next one.